Hi everyone, my name is Christine Forget and I am from Solva Senior Living. Today we're talking with a good friend of mine, Carrie Durant, who is a cannabinoid therapy educator with Canada House Clinics. It is April 2020, so for anybody watching this a couple years from now, we'll be like, remember that pandemic of COVID? Yeah, we're stuck in our houses. Carrie's actually a few minutes down the road from me, and all sorts of things can happen. My daughter could come into the room. I've got a blue hand for making Play-Doh. Carrie's got her dog that's kind of yapping in the background. But we roll with it. We're good. It's all good. So we're taking this time of physical distancing to chat about things related to seniors, because that's what Solva Senior Living does, is we provide education and navigation for senior living. Carrie is going to chat with us today. We're going to do FAQs for cannabis therapy. Am I saying that right, Carrie? What would be the political terminology that I would want to say here?
The therapeutic benefits of cannabis?
Yes, therapeutic.
Or in it with anybody, you know.
Okay. So before this recording, Carrie and I had a chat and we came up with the top 5 frequently asked questions that she gets. And we're going to tailor this to seniors, but she works with anybody of any age. So, number 1, why do people use cannabis as a therapeutic solution, therapeutic benefit?
Benefit, yeah, I think benefit would be, I mean, most people at this point in time, I mean, are trying cannabis, usually by their doctor's recommendations, and sometimes doctors are not on board with it, which is fine. A lot of the major things with seniors or anybody else is dealing with pain, like arthritis, pain, you know, even like irritable bowel syndrome, headaches.
Fibromyalgia, I've heard.
Fibromyalgia is another big one, like headaches. It's just goes on and on the lists. Like Health Canada has, you know, so many that they list that they can help. It also helps like with any kind of stress, anxiety, depression. When you have issues that you are unable to sleep well, you can, you know, take certain different kinds of cannabis to help you sleep. You can take things to help you sleep and help your pain at the same time. It just depends on what kind of mix that you need to help. Like many people can have 1 symptom, some people can have 5 symptoms, and some people when they start to realize that other symptoms they did have, they're feeling better.
So it's not like one solution and done. There's different kinds of solutions and types of options when it comes to cannabis and therapeutic benefits and solutions.
Yes, because I mean, when we meet, we usually meet with the patient, or I meet with them for about an hour. And I mean, we like to be able to explain to them exactly what cannabis is, the types of plants that you get the cannabis from, because you can have a sativa plant, which is like a daytime, it's uplifting, it helps your memory, it makes your mood better, where an indica plant is more for nighttime, where it helps you relax, you know, it helps you be able to sleep. So this is when you meet with somebody, it's so important, the education that comes behind it, so they understand as well why they're taking it and which one benefits them more.
Okay. So question number 2. Oh, are you going to show examples?
No, I was just going to
like, ooh,
pictures. Just had when they come in, and I mean, we talk about all the different licensed producers and different things and the benefits of all that. And we always give them like something like this. It shows, you know, the different types of plants and which one, like a sativa, it's like I said, increased energy, alertness, and uplifting, where the indica, we say couch, which helps them remember, that means tired, relaxing, and helps with sleep.
Okay. I like the visuals.
Okay.
Okay. So, question number 2. Am I going to get high?
That's, I think, the main question that everybody asks, whether you're a senior, whether you're a young, I mean, a lot of the younger people that are coming in, you know, have tried cannabis through the years, you know, where they used it as a thing to get high. Now, when you're talking about getting high, when we're trying to get the right product for you, we always want to make sure, yes, you don't want to get high. I mean, some seniors will say to me, oh, well, I took this to help me sleep and it made me feel like I had a glass of wine. And they don't like that feeling. Some people like that feeling. So when we are prescribing any kind of cannabis, we always, you start low, go slow. So you always start at a low dosage. And I mean, if you're using CBD compared to THC, which they each do different things, your CBD can give you no high at all. Your THC sometimes can give you a high. So sometimes what we do is combine a THC and the CBD, because the CBD will overpower the THC so you don't get that high. And then if you're taking it just for sleep, then we start on a very, very low dose. They always get a treatment plan, exactly what dose to take at what time of day, and can call at any time of day, email. Like
They have access to you guys. Like it's not like you're going to the guy in the corner and getting the goods and
that's
gonna have a whole evening episode by yourself. You actually have somebody that can be there with you.
Exactly. And I mean, a lot of people have a lot of questions, and there's many, many other areas that, like with cancer pain is another one. Or if people are on chemotherapy and the nausea, that's another one that we can help with. Like, it's just, there's so many things that, and they're, you know, we're proving more and more, like we're, you know, I did a big talk across Canada on Alzheimer's dementia and how the CBD within the brain is helping not form these plaques, because CBD is a natural anti-inflammatory, like
Sorry,
your Advil.
Just moving around. Don't mind me. Continue on. Oh my God.
Are you in?
See, I told you, anything's gonna happen right now. 1 minute. Okay, had to change something. My daughter came in the room. She was quite good. She was quiet, so.
I didn't even hear her. There you go. And the other thing is, like, they put CBD out there for seizures, for epilepsy. Like,
yeah, I've heard about that.
Some of these, actually, one of the licensed producers has a type of CBD that's out there. It's a high CBD, and it was tested for children first, which was called Dravet syndrome, which they could have up to, 30, 40 seizures a day. And they have videos out there of this one little girl, and she was down to maybe 1 a month.
Wow.
So, I mean, there's so many things. Parkinson's disease is another one, MS, for the specificity, like, of, so there's many different, like, so what we base it on is when people come to talk to me, you say, okay, now what are your concerns? What are your symptoms? And you go from there, instead of going to a store and saying, okay, I want that or something.
Yeah. So so Canada House Clinics is more, you're not a distributor of sorts. You are an educator about all the products. Is that kind of what I'm understanding?
Yeah. And then there's so many LPs out there, which is a licensed producer. Sorry, we say LP. Like, there's Spectrum, like that's Tweed, that's in Smith Falls. There's Tilray, there's MedRelief, there's, Afria, there's many different ones. And there's different companies that other companies don't have. Like, you usually start with the oil. Some people have capsules. One of the companies now has teas or a powder that you sprinkle on your food, or drinks, like chocolate too. And I mean, recipes out there, because some people don't like the taste of the oil, but you can mix it in peanut butter or yogurt or, something to take that taste away. Yeah. And every licensed producer's oil may taste different.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. So next question, or maybe like we'll call it a 2.5. what are the seniors saying about cannabis? How did they approach this? Are you seeing a lot of seniors using this? What are, what are the success stories with
I think like it surprised me when I did one of my first talks and I was talking about Alzheimer's and dementia and we were talking about pain and all this kind of, and it was actually at a church seniors group. There was 4 seniors in that audience that were already using CBD or cannabis. And the majority of them were using it for pain, arthritic pain. And I mean, a lot of them are very leery. I actually had an RCMP retiree come into my office with his wife, and he thought that, you know, the stigma behind it, and being an RCMP officer, he says, well, I arrested people and people put in jail for having this. But she wanted something for her pain. She had really, really bad arthritic pain. So we had given her some oil, and I gave her a recipe for making her own cream. So it's topical, you rub it on. And he called me 3 weeks later and was like, oh my goodness, like this is crazy. I've been rubbing this on my wife's shoulders every day, and the arthritis in his hands was gone. So he became this believer. Like he couldn't believe how he was able to get rid of this pain because he didn't like to take medication. And here, just by rubbing it on his wife, was able to get into his hands and help his arthritis pain.
So this topical ointment, people can come to you, you can have a discussion, assessment, conversation about their situation, kind of like what Solva does in a way in terms of, but you're with the kind of, and you can get them the ointment or help them figure out. I mean, my mom, for example, is 77 this year, and she got pain, arthritis pain. She got this pain in her knee, and she's like, maybe I could try this cannabis, but like a lot of people don't know where to get it. Like they don't even know where to get it. They don't know what the first step is.
Well, and the thing, like a lot of people will go to the rec stores because those are open, right? Yeah. Or right now, some of them are. But the thing with the rec store is nobody in the recreational, I mean, they're great to have there, but nobody's allowed to.
The where you can go and buy just pot.
Yeah, exactly. But nobody there can give you advice or what to use. Legally, per Health Canada, they have this store. You can go in and buy some things. And with seniors,
just CBD stuff in these rec stores, or is it just? Okay.
No, they have capsules, they have oils, they have, you know, many different things, but it's the education part that, I mean, I've seen a lot of patients come from, you know, oh, well, they didn't tell me that, or they said they couldn't tell me that. And I said, no, that's why we're here, to educate, to help you understand the product that you need and why you need that. And I mean, with the cream, you can just go out and buy any kind of hand cream or anything you have at home, the dollar store, the drugstore, and then I give them a recipe depending on how bad their pain is. And then they make it according to the recipe. But then what they do is they're increasing the oil in the amount of cream to make the cream that's good for them. Yeah. So, I mean, everybody's like, I had a gentleman, he was using a full 40 ml bottle for 5 cups of cream, but he knew and he had worked towards that. You know, some people start off with like half a cup of cream and 4 mils of oil, you know, where this guy was using 40 mils for 5 cups. And it doesn't go bad. It's something that people sometimes will put on before they go to bed. They put it on first thing in the morning.
So you put that right on your, like, so my mom, sore knee, she puts that right on her knee.
Yeah. Like my mom even uses it for restless legs, and she's 87 and plays tennis. But she can go to the theater. She's not up pacing because legs aren't jittery and all over the place, that she's able to sleep. And it works really well for a lot of different, you know, things.
Okay. Next question. Well, it's more of a statement. I'm too old to do this. Do you hear that a lot? And what do you say to that?
Oh, I thought you were talking about yourself. No. A lot of people, I think, again, because of the stigma behind it, that people are oh, well, I'm too old for this. This is just like, and I don't want to smoke. Like, I don't want to.
Or they've had, yeah, I mean, they think it's your life.
Everybody thinks that you have to smoke it. Yeah.
Or maybe when they were younger, because a lot of people, even some of our friends who are 80 and 90 might have tried it when they were younger and didn't like it, or the stigma or whatever. So they're thinking in their head, you know, I just don't like it. So
yeah. And I mean, they think back where they had a really bad high when they were younger.
Yeah.
But sorry, I'm just gonna they've had a really bad high. And I mean, what was made years and years ago, 30 years ago, 20 years ago, I mean, there was no regulations behind it at that time either. Like now, like there's like the pesticides and everything has to be proven and everything is documented on every product.
There's no chemicals on it, right?
Health Canada regulates it very strictly. And I mean, you can have seen in the news in the past 6 months to a year, like some companies have lost everything because of them trying to sneak around and do things they shouldn't be doing.
Interesting.
But I mean, if you stay on the medication and like a lot of people think too, oh, I'll just take a dose in the morning and I'm fine all day. Where when we give a treatment plan, the thing is, it's like you want to take something that's going to continuously work. It's not something like a Tylenol you take once a month because you have a headache.
Yeah.
It's something that you take regularly to prevent the symptoms. And then when we always start you off low, like I said, start low, go slow, and we work you up to the dose that makes you feel better, because everybody's so different.
Yeah.
And I mean, they get one licensed producer that their product just doesn't work for you. And you can go to the next one and think, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And I always tell my patients, just, sometimes they get very frustrated. I said, you just have to be patient till we find you exactly what you need. That's why when some people go to the rec stores, they're not necessarily getting exactly what they need.
Well, it's interesting because we didn't talk about this, because your background, you're a nurse and you have really kind of dedicated yourself to the education of dementia and seniors issues and those types of things. So what are you seeing in terms of therapeutic benefits for that senior population? So we talked a lot about, pain management and stuff, but I've heard you, because we're friends and we've talked many times about various different things, and I've heard you talk about a lot of the presentations you're doing with dementia, and you just mentioned Parkinson's. So maybe you can talk a bit more about that.
Okay, so like when I've done different talks and you see, I mean, if you're dealing with
hold on a second. I guess in this case, like if anybody's watching this and wanted you to come and do a talk, that's what you do. You go out, you just educate anybody anywhere.
Yeah, like I've gone to retirement homes, and I did one at a retirement home, and it was more of the families that had seniors there, or families that had parents with dementia or Alzheimer's, because as baby boomers, your parents are getting older. I mean, or anybody that finds their memories not as good or they have concerns, this is a good option to try. When we talked about, I was talking to one gentleman, his mom had Alzheimer's. And he said, she's been on these medications for years, and they say, oh, they're going to help stop the progression. And, I mean, and a lot of these drugs, that was what they said they did. Are they working? The studies show that maybe, a little, but the thing that really can upset a lot of parents is when their parent or family member gets any kind of sundowning that they get in Alzheimer's, or any kind of aggression. And then they just, I was a director of care, and I mean, if somebody reaches out and hits somebody, it's boom, they're put on major medications, and then they're, tired all day and they can't do anything, where this can help prevent a lot of the aggression. And this is what, instead of adding more and more pharmaceutical medications to these poor seniors, I really like to advocate for them so they're not taking all these medications, or if they get...
Yeah, because they would be given a sleeping pill, right? Like if there's... Because oftentimes with dementia, the internal clock kind of gets messed up.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And with the sundowning, that at night they're awake and moving around. One moment. Yes, you can call your friend to play Minecraft. Yes.
That's right.
So,
Like this. Sorry,
yeah.
go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, because sometimes, I mean, if you were a caregiver at home and you were at home by yourself caring for somebody with dementia and their clock was reversed, they might get prescribed. And I mean, I'm not a doctor, so this is just things I've observed. Like a sleeping medication to help them sleep through the night. Whereas,
and you see some sleeping medications don't work, or they have side effects to other medications they're taking. And the other thing is too, that quite often in the morning, then they're so groggy or they're tired that they don't want to get up and start their day, or they have to give it at a, earlier on to prevent any contraindications with any other medications they're on. And then they're falling asleep too early, and then they're up really, really early. So it's trying to, and this gentleman said to me, well, what have I got to lose for my mom? And I said, well, that's up to you. And he says, yeah, but with CBD, THC, there's never been an overdose, very, very few side effects. Like I had one of the doctors says, well, if I have to prescribe 6 medications that counteract with each other, and then they have to be taken and spread up throughout the day, why wouldn't I just write a prescription for one thing that's probably going to help the majority of their problems? Like, yes, it's not a fix-all for, it's going to take away your COPD, or it's going to take away, your high blood pressure. But in instances, it has shown to help control your blood pressure. So they say, and people have been able to decrease their blood pressure medication. And that's why we always say, stay in tune with your doctor and make sure you take your blood pressure at least a couple of times a week, just to see if it is affecting it, because then maybe your medication needs to be decreased. But like I said, again, everybody's different and everybody reacts differently to it. Some people, it's help regulating their blood sugars as well.
So how do people get in touch with you?
They can just call me. They can email me.
Are you doing this kind of thing with people? Are you doing virtual?
Well, right now, this is how I'm seeing all my patients. Like, we do a lot of telemedicine.
The COVID's over and somebody can't get to you. Will you continue to do telemedications?
Yes. Oh, yeah. We've always done it. We can do it by telephone. We can do it, because some people too, I'm finding seniors don't have a computer, so we can do a phone call.
Okay. So how do they?
The thing is,
what's the phone number?
Okay, so my phone number direct line is 613-738-1225.
And website or email?
My email is Kerry, Kerry .Durant, DURANT @CanadaHouseClinics.ca. Plus, Canada House Clinics has the website, Canada House Clinics, you can go on.
Perfect. So we'll leave it at that today, because I know that they say keep these kind of things to under 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. But if anybody wanted more information or would enjoy, I know Kerry very well, that she could talk and talk for, you would talk to somebody about this forever, I'm sure.
Forever.
If we could get out of this situation, have a coffee with her, and she'll talk to you about any kind of health subject that's out there. But for now, we'll leave it for today. And if anybody wants to get in touch with us at Solva, again, our number is 613-421-6073. And what we do is we help families and seniors navigate senior housing and elder care. And we're always, again, just like Kerry, always happy to chat about anything. There's no obligation, there's no cost. We just like sharing what we know, and that's why we're all friends, because we like.
And there's no cost for to come and see me, or even if you get a referral from your doctor, we just need a diagnosis. That's all. Like, what's your concern, or what kind of?
Yeah, and I'm sure if people call you, you'll just kind of guide them through that process.
Guide them through all that. Yeah.
Okay, guys, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.